It's the beginning of May. It's a month of growth, a month of new life. The sun is officially out and here to stay. This is truly such a happy month, especially since I live in Colorado. I feel like once May rolls around, we are officially in warm weather season. And I am so excited because warm weather season this year means that it is baby season. I know I'm not due until August, but now that the sun is here to stay, I know that we are officially in the season of baby. I have kind of planned out May as being the time when I was going to start doing a bunch of baby prep stuff. I remember in my pregnancy with Sutton, I waited until the last minute to do a lot of my nesting stuff, and I felt very, very pregnant at that time. I want to prioritize things and do things that I want to do first, and I feel like if I write it all down, I will be able to get myself organized. And I want to start this off a little bit more fun. I need to restart my sourdough starter. That poor sourdough starter that I had died during my first trimester. This happened with my last sourdough starter with Sutton's pregnancy. So I need to restart my sourdough starter, and that's kind of how I want to start this video because I feel like restarting your sourdough starter, sunny weather, I mean, that's just a great way to restart this month. Sourdough starter is done. That was such a great way to start this reset because I've really needed to restart my sourdough starter. I have been buying sourdough bread from Trader Joe's, which is pretty good, but I have missed making some sourdough bread. So hopefully in the next few weeks here, I can start making that again. We actually just got back from a family walk and we went to Trader Joe's as well to pick up some fun spring flowers to kind of spruce up our dining room table a little bit. It was also just really nice to get outside in the sun. We have had a lot of rain the past few days, which comes with spring, but it was nice to get out in the sun. On our walk was the cutest little thing in front of someone's house. They put this little, I don't even know what to call it. It's like a little miniature china cabinet and it had books in it, and it was just a little cabinet for you to take a book. And so I picked up a book on our walk. It seems like a little cute little chick flicky type book. So I picked up this book out of this cabinet. So I thought that was really sweet. But now that I feel like I've gotten a good amount of vitamin D in, I am going to finally start getting organized for this month. The first thing I want to do is kind of write down all of the goals and stuff that I have before baby gets here. I know May is not baby month, but I just want to write down everything that I would like to get done and prioritize it, and then see which of those tasks I can get done this month. We are on the last 2 days of April. May is almost here. I got my list done last night. I did some prioritizing, things that were really important to me, and there are so many things that I need to get done before baby boy gets here. We've got some appointments in a few hours. Sutton has his 1-year appointment and I have my 24-week appointment. So today is a big doctor day. Before we leave for those appointments, I want to run through the groceries we got this past weekend before we eat them and show you guys what a detox week looks like in our house. We call it a detox week. I call it a detox week, really. Basically, we eat pretty much the same thing every day, and that sounds really boring. And if you've watched any of my other vlogs, you know that I love meal prepping and like making fun recipes. Honestly, I love food so much, and cooking is like my safe haven. And so usually on a weekly basis, I'll make fun little recipes and we'll eat different things throughout the week. But on these detox weeks, it's a lot less maintenance. I'm not really making any recipes. We are eating the same thing for breakfast, the same thing for dinner. It's all very nourishing, wholesome, healthy food. It might be kind of boring, but what I've noticed is it helps like our digestion, our sleep. It helps me have to like do a lot less of meal prepping. And we just kind of commit for a week to eating the same thing over and over and over again. And it's yummy, so we enjoy it. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not like a fun meal, if that makes any sense. Basically, how I set up the week is in the morning, we always have oatmeal, which is pretty standard for a lot of mornings because it's just really quick to make. So the morning I'll make oatmeal with some peanut butter, bananas, apples, strawberries. It's a big, healthy portion of oatmeal. For me, it keeps me full until like probably 2:30, 3 o'clock. And we usually eat around like 6, so it keeps me full for a very long time. And then for dinner we'll do some sort of protein, and then I have a bunch of veggies, and I make it kind of like a sheet pan dinner. Cut up a bunch of vegetables, cauliflower, broccoli, zucchini, peppers. And then lunch, if I get hungry, I will just make myself like a blueberry banana smoothie. Or lunch I'll do like hummus and carrots or something like that. That's why I call it a detox week, because when we eat this stuff every day, I feel like I see a difference in my digestion, my sleep. I feel like my body gets used to what I'm eating. It's like nourishing food. I feel more energized. It is not by any means like, I don't know, an official detox, but for us, it feels like a detox when we do weeks like this. It also makes making dinner a lot easier. I usually make dinner during Sutton's second nap, or do a lot of the prepping during Sutton's second nap, but on a week like this, I can just pre-cut all the vegetables for the week, throw it into a big Tupperware, and just take out some veggies, throw it on the pan that I'm gonna put in the oven. So that is what a detox week looks like in our house. It might be kind of boring, but I wanted to share it because it is honestly really easy. It's an easy grocery list. I just put whatever veggies we like that sound good roasted, some packages of chicken, oatmeal, fruit. And I feel like if we get hungry throughout the day, those are things we snack on. Now we've got to head off to our appointments. It is the last day of April. Yesterday ended up being such a hectic day with appointments. We were running all over Denver because Sutton's appointment in the morning was on one end of Denver. My appointment in the afternoon was on the other end of Denver, and with traffic, it took forever to get everywhere. It just felt like such a hectic day. I'm actually sitting in the basement right now in a little storage room that we have. We keep a bunch of baby stuff and extra boxes and stuff like that down here. The pack and play is sitting right behind me. Right next to me, I have a pile of boxes, just some old diaper boxes and moving boxes. Basically what I've done with Sutton's clothes is every time he grows out of an age range, like 3 to 6 months or 6 to 9 months, I take all of those clothes and I put them in boxes and label it that age range. And I thought it would be a good time to start baby prepping. I want to look through these clothes and just see what I need for this baby boy. Obviously it's a lot of baby boy clothing, which is nice. But Sutton was also born in a different season. He was born kind of more in a colder season, like towards the end of winter. So we have a lot of sweaters and stuff in the newborn and like 0 to 3 month age range. I haven't looked at these clothes since Sutton was such a little baby and I put them in boxes. That's what I want to do right now. I want to go through these clothes and start May just kind of prepping a little bit for this new baby. So I've been through the newborn stuff and the 0 to 3 month stuff. It is so bittersweet, like looking at old little clothes that Sutton could never fit in right now and thinking that we are just about to have a baby that is going to fit into this stuff so soon. Like, look at these little overalls. So cute. I can't believe we're going to have another little guy fitting into these clothes. I feel like we need a little bit more stuff in the newborn kind of area, but the 0 to 3 month, we might be okay. Once Sutton got into the 0 to 3 month range, he was getting into like spring, summer season. And so we have a lot more warm weather stuff in that and some cooler weather things. So we could be good for this baby going into like the end of summer, fall. So I started making a list. I'm just going to do the newborn and the 0 to 3 month because I don't know how fast this baby's going to grow. I can like assume that he's going to grow at the same rate as Sutton, but that could be totally false. So now I need some newborn short sleeve onesies, newborn shorts, newborn short sleeve shirts. I need some sun hats. I'm trying to think of what else I need to get in like the newborn to 3 month range. I feel like we're pretty covered. We've got all of our sleep sacks, swaddles, and footer sleepies. Another thing I might want to get is a new baby carrier. I haven't looked very heavily into baby carriers. We didn't really do baby carrying with Sutton. We had the Ergo baby and the Solly baby carriers, and he did them a few times, but he just wasn't like vibing with the carriers. Just wasn't a baby carrier baby, and I think that we didn't push it enough to where he would be a baby carrier baby. Because this is my second baby and I'm going to be chasing around Sutton all day, I need this baby to be a baby carrier baby. So I want to look into some baby carriers. I know that's not clothing, but it is sitting here with my swaddles right now and it's just reminding me of it. So I want to put that on my list. This was a great way to kind of start baby prepping for me and start thinking about things. I feel like we have a lot of big ticket items like the bouncer, the jumper. Sutton is about to wake up from his nap, so I am going to go upstairs and probably feed the sourdough starter. We are on day 3 of the sourdough starter. It's starting to bubble, which is really exciting. Sutton is down for his second nap of the day, and I kind of want to end this reset video with talking about some of my self goals and my personal goals that I have for the month of May. I feel like setting goals for yourself is a really good thing to do. There's also a fine line and a balance between setting too many goals for yourself and trying to put too much on your plate. And I tend to lean towards putting too much on my plate instead of setting like attainable, achievable goals. A few days ago when I wrote down all of this stuff, it was really good for me to kind of flesh out things in my head that I knew I wanted to get done and realistically evaluate what I could accomplish in a month. High on my priority list was restarting my sourdough, which I've already done. I'm really excited to start making sourdough again this month. That might seem like a silly little goal, but honestly, it's really good for my mental health. I love baking and cooking, and so restarting my sourdough has been something in the back of my mind for a few months. It has actually been a few hours since I fed it, so let me go get it. Maybe it has some bubbles that we can look at. There are definitely bubbles forming at the bottom of this guy. I don't know if I mentioned, but I used Kristen John's growing season book. She just came out with it this year and she has a sourdough starter recipe. Usually I just mix equal parts water and flour and make my own sourdough starter. I've never actually gone off of a recipe. Also, when I make my starter, everyone always says to keep it at room temperature, but I always put it in the oven if I'm gonna be home for a few hours and turn the oven light on to like heat it up and give it a little bit extra warmth, especially when I first start a sourdough starter. So I always feel like that helps it grow a little bit as well. This was just a huge thing that I've been wanting to accomplish for months. I've been super bummed out that my starter keeps dying because I keep getting pregnant and sick. I am hoping to keep this guy around for a while. Next up for goals, I want to get back into reading. Life is so busy and I feel like I ebb and flow with the seasons in which I'm able to do a lot of reading. It seems like the first trimester of both of my pregnancies, I get so much reading done. During my first trimester, I ordered extra books because I was reading so much, and then once my first trimester stopped, it's like I stopped reading. And so I have some books that I want to read this month. I'm just going to do 2 this month if I can. The first one is called Remarkably Bright Creatures. I've heard so many good things about this book. I also ordered this at the same time. This is The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. Kristen Hanna does an amazing job writing books about women going through different eras and different hard times. The Nightingale totally changed my life. I also read The Four Winds right around the time Sutton was born, and that was also a phenomenal book as well. And so she is just a really great author. I've heard really good things about The Great Alone. So these 2 books are on my reading list for the month of May. And along with that, I am in the search for a good devotional, and I kind of want to just incorporate more of that time into my morning time when I can. And then my final May goal is getting outside and walking at least 4 times a week. Having back-to-back pregnancies has affected my body so much, and I can definitely feel it. I was just getting back into working out postpartum when I found out I was pregnant again. And so I haven't had the ability to really get into a workout routine for a few years now. And I know that I am pregnant and I'm not really able to establish a workout routine, but just getting outside and walking, especially in this sunny weather, is good for my mental health. It's good for my pregnancy. So that is my final goal for myself for the month of May. I am very excited for the month of May. I know I said this in the beginning of the video, but May in Colorado just feels like the start of summer because we really don't see a lot of consistent warm weather until May here. I'm excited to bring you guys along with me for baby prep and all of this stuff. It truly is overwhelming how much stuff needs to be done, but we'll try to get as much done as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching this little reset video. I love you, and I will see you soon.